I am a wife, a mother, and we start with education for today's conversation. I am a cytopathologist, which is a subspecialty, one of the medical subspecialties. And so I went through medical school, and I would say that I did not do that of my own will. My husband instructed me to go to become a physician. And so I went to medical school and did medical school and residency and then a fellowship. And I currently work in a diagnostic science where I look at cells under a microscope as a profession. But I would say that I am who I am because of the Father through my husband, through his instructions. His instructions have been sound, and he has been loving, and I bear witness to his righteous example in our family. And I think I'm here to talk and to encourage the sisters as it pertains to polygyny.
Correct.
Polygyny is one of the family structures that we see in Scripture. Mm-hmm. The other being biblical monogamy. And so sisters should be very confident of the example, particularly of our mothers in Scriptures, those that built Israel practiced polygyny. And I couldn't be more confident when I tell you that there's nothing to fear from polygyny itself. Polygyny, in fact, is neutral. Polygyny will bring out whatever is in you. Polygyny will cause you to have to face who you are. My husband uses the example of, if I put a slice of pie, the last slice of pie in the refrigerator, and I live alone, there's really no risk of that pie being moved, of anybody, sneaking a piece, finishing it, not sharing it. And so I haven't necessarily been presented with the opportunity to know what things would come up in me if that last slice of pie that I was hoping for, that I had built up my appetite for, is gone when I get home. Absolutely. And it's still an honorable title to be a concubine, but we shouldn't think more highly of ourselves, than we ought. Many of us are not functioning as a wife, and that's where it matters. So not in title, and certainly not with just validation from the governmental system. None of that makes a wife. A wife is a wife in function. So if she is not 100% assimilated to her husband, where his purpose is what she invests her whole self in completing, including her feelings. And so if she's functioning on the outside by doing things, but her feelings are far from him, her heart is far from him, then she still is not functioning as a wife, because what sisters don't understand is the power of the feminine is the assimilation. When she assimilates, she will still have power, but it has to be in order. And so when she assimilates to him and she gives full turbojets in whatever direction he says that the family is going, then he will know that he can trust her because he knows he has her. Because, as I've said many times, I have biological sisters who I'm close to and who I love dearly. And I could never have imagined being closer to sisters, but I'm light years closer to the sisters in the family than my biological sisters. And also, what women are so confused in this culture because we think, oh, we can just have sisterhood. But there is no sisterhood without a brotherhood. And the whole point of that, the whole reason for that is when a woman is married, the agreement that she can have with another sister is only up until the extent that that other sister is being led by the same guiding principles that she is. So if you have two brothers, for example, that's close, that are in agreement, though the wife of that one and the wife of this one can be close. But there can be nothing closer than having the same male principle leading both persons. And so it's the closest sisterhood that's imaginable by far. And so sisters really need sisterhood because they need to be healed. And some of the healing that sisters need is only going to come through working out their salvation through the interactions with sisters. Because these things that we mentioned that come up in the emotions that get stirred up that we didn't know was there, these deep roots of lack that an error that has been accepted by the person even before they were conscious of who they were. Deep traumas are going to be surfaced, and then those sisters are there, and that relationship is enduring in love. Those traumas and those hurts float away in a way that's much more effective and much more efficient even than the assembly at large, because of how close it is to the sister. It's very effective and very, very healing. So I can't express in words how dear my sisters are to me and how much we love each other and how much we want the other sister to have everything that her heart desires. It's so much so that I'm happy, truly happy for my sister. I can't express to you how wicked it is to withhold from another sister. Yes, that is what practically, that is what will deliver and free the sisters, is to relinquish all their will, to get rid of willfulness. If you're told to go out to the marketplace, go out as unto the Most High. If you're told to stay home, homeschool, food preparation, as unto the Most High. Do it with excellence. Don't compare yourselves to each other. Honor each other for the contribution that they're making to the husband. Basic. All of the children are his. All the money is his. Well, this is the reason why this is tough for people to understand, is because in the West and just wickedness period says that everyone is equal, and that's not true. We're going to have to face up to that, and some of us have the tendency to think more highly of ourselves than we are. It's just a temptation that's in us, and so if I belong to my husband. I am just as a piece of land. I produce for my husband a variety of things, and so as a profitable servant, the more I'm able to assimilate to him, the better I'm able to produce the fruit that he wants produced.
Do y'all hear this mindset?
Yes, sir.
So the problem with a sister who has baggage, whether it's emotional baggage, mainly from a history of failed attempts at assimilation. When she has failed in the past, it doesn't make her more likely to be successful in the future. It's actually harder the more times she's had a man, different men, because she's got baggage, hurts, traumas. She has the old agenda from these different men, maybe what pleased them and what, if she was with a fool before, The things she did that he approved of, a righteous man would not approve of. And so for that reason, women come to the man in different condition. A sister who is, let's give the best. Ideally, the sister is a virgin, she's younger, and she has no prior failed attempts at assimilation. And most importantly, she came from a home where her father was the patriarchal ruler of that home. If she comes from patriarchy and she obeyed her father, she's in much better condition to easily transfer and that over to her husband. So if a sister, the further away from that ideal a sister is, the less suitable she is to be a wife, and the more she would function on a lower level. And this is all about function. She's not able to function as a wife, meaning 100% submission, 100% assimilation, because she has all these other ideas and all these hurts and all this history. And for that reason, she should count herself fortunate to be considered a concubine. A concubine is still an honorable term. This is not a woman who has other sexual partners. She's exclusive to the husband. He claims her, he recognizes her, and day in, day out, on a practical basis, her treatment is no different than that of a wife. The difference is going forward in terms of inheritance. To the concubine and to the children of the concubine, first, before I go there, let me say this. A concubine can become a wife. If she's delivered from the error and the misgivings and the prior agreements and all the baggage that she's accumulated, and she comes to 100% submission, because this is about function, then she can become a wife. That being said, a daughter may be brought in who's putatively as a wife, but never can, for some reason, she can't cut it. And she ends up not being able to function as a wife. She can be considered a concubine because she's not functioning as a wife. Let me give you an example. We have, my husband has a concubine who has a disabled mother, and she's very devoted to her mother, and she decided long ago that she would stay with her mother to be at her mother's bedside. This is a prior commitment that she is not willing to place behind the commitment to be a wife. For that reason, she cannot become a wife, because my husband cannot be her first, foremost, and utmost priority. It's not for a bad reason, and we support her in that. And my husband is very supportive of even her family and has helped the family a lot, her family a lot. So it doesn't mean that one day that situation may change. She could become a wife, but a wife can't have any priorities, any obligations, any agenda that supersedes her husband's purpose. And so there are a lot of women who have children from another man, and they put the children ahead of potentially a husband. That woman is unfit to be a wife, because she already has obligations that she's unwilling to subordinate. And sisters would have to be honest about where they really are in this.